I gotta admit, I'm a little bit on the fence with this episode. Now, hear me out. I loved the soundtrack, the visuals, and overall, I did like the direction of where the story is going. However, I'm not the biggest fan with Saray purifying a dragon. Now, hear me out, okay? It's progression, and it's something that did need to happen for the story. However, I felt like the way he came to the conclusion of purifying the dragon, it felt rushed to me. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Now, I don't know how this stuff was handled in, the game, because I do know that, Tales of Zestiria the X, Season 2, is really going on a path, like a new path from the game. That's what I've been told by, people that played the games of Tales of Zestiria. They're telling me that it's, like, becoming anime original. So, I don't know how different it is or whatever, but still, I felt like this episode really rushed that plot point. I felt like it should have been built up a little bit more. It's something that's been behind the scenes for a long time for Tales of Zestiria since early Season 1, and it's something that's needed an answer for a long time. But I felt like Saray just coming up out of nowhere, it's like, oh, the reason why there's myths and legends so you can't purify, a dragon is because there was never a shepherd that was strong enough to be able to purify it, which I understand that. It makes sense. I'm fine with that. I mean, if there was never anyone that was strong enough to be able to take all that malevolence, I can understand that. However, the way he came to that conclusion, and then he was able to realize, like, he can take it, I'm like, I felt like that should have been built up a little bit more. It really should have. But that's my personal opinion on that. Regardless, though, the scene was pretty badass. Like, it was a really badass scene. The music and all that fucking badass. Holy shit, that was a good scene. I mean, when I heard that one song, I don't know what song that is. I really don't. Hopefully someone can link me the song in the comments below, because that fucking song that played, that was just... I'm not talking about the ending song, I'm not talking about the opening song, I'm talking about that one song with the lyrics and shit just playing. I'm like, fuck, that is so good. I'm like, that's a good fucking song. Like, that is a straight up badass fucking song. Like, that's a song I would put on repeat for hours. It was that good. I'm like, damn. Like, regardless of my problems I have with overall the rush plot point with purifying a dragon, that song, I'm like, yo, that just sent fucking chills down my back. I'm like, that is so good. That is such a good fucking song. I'm like, yo, like, Photable, like, you know how to put in that good music. Like, you really know how to put in some good music and some good moments. I'm like, yo, that was awesome. So, yeah, anyways, getting into the point of the episode has, like, two major points. The first part of the episode focuses on Alicia and overall her plot getting kind of handled, her character development / characterization, and then the second part of the episode focuses on purification of the dragon. So before we get into the dragon again, let's just talk about Alicia's, overall plot going on in this episode. So, Alicia, she didn't break into the city to actually free her teacher, her mentor, and which I was completely wrong. I'm like, whoa, okay. So she broke into the city to confront her father, the king, and talked with her father. And when she finally managed to make it to her father and talk with him, she realized that he was already overcome by malevolence. You saw the hatred and everything just coming off of him, sadness, envy, whatever he was feeling. We didn't get a lot of, I guess, insight to what the king was really thinking, which is kind of sad overall, but still, we do know he felt some form of emotions that were dark. And Alicia was able to see this, which eventually turned it to where, the person that's been, kind of manipulating things behind the scenes and trying to kill, Princess Alicia, he finally steps up, he's like, I gotta kill you and all that, you come here in the middle of the night, try to kill your father, just trying to pin it on Alicia, make her look bad, and right before she's about to get, cut down, her father jumps in front and takes the blow, which, once again, we don't really get to find out any real major details on why the father was, feeling like that. Malevolence, maybe it's because he was sad for his daughter or whatever, that he thought his daughter was guilty, maybe that's the possibility of what he was feeling. However, when he does die, Alicia, she's like, you just murdered the king and all that. And she's like, I won't kill you because, that's not something I will do. You'll answer for your crimes or whatever, but I won't kill you. And all the other knights outside the door that got saved or were just knocked out or whatever, they managed to hear what the dude was saying, which made it to where he lost overall. And so he decided to take his life because, Alicia said, she wouldn't kill him. So he decided to take matters into his own hands. He killed himself for, he would say he would won. So it's kind of like petty the way he kind of concluded that. But I felt like the overall Alicia stuff, it wasn't handled as nicely as the Rose stuff. And that's another point I felt about this episode. Like, it felt like a really rushed episode. Like, it was a good episode, but it felt rushed. Like, there should have been more time for some of these. And I felt like, you know, Studio Photable, they're running out of time with this series or something, because I do know it was announced to be, like, you know, 2 seasons, like, you know, Season 1, Season 2 split in half and, like, you know, separated, which we're on the 2nd season right now, and so I don't know if there's ever going to be a potential possibility we're getting a Season 3, and judging by how many episodes we have remaining, like, left and all that, we still have the Lord of Calamity, which was talked about at the end of the episode. I feel like Studio Photable, since they are going, you know, anime original, I felt like they just wanted to wrap up these plot points really quickly. Like, just get them over and move on to the in-game boss of the series, which I can understand that. I mean, they only have a limited amount of time most likely to work with. However, I felt like some of these things could have, you know, used more time to develop. I mean, the overall Alicia stuff, she's been more prominent in the series than actually Rose. I mean, yes, Rose has been important, but she was like one of the first, you know, female characters to be introduced, so I felt like she deserved a little bit more. However, she did not get that. She didn't get as much development as I would have liked in this episode, because we already know she's strong-willed and all that, and I've already talked about my thoughts overall. I love her character for that, the way she acts and all that, the way she just, you know, takes charge, and the way she can inspire her men. I really love that about her character. However, when it came to the stuff with her father in this episode, like I said, it could have been handled a little bit more cleanly. I just felt like there could have been a little bit more emotions between the father and daughter. You know, Alicia could have felt a little bit more sadness towards her father's death, but also the events right there with her mentor. I felt like overall there could have been a little bit more there, but I guess time constraints and all that, and I'm assuming Studio Photable just wants to wrap it up before they can get to, you know, like I said, the end-game boss. But the Alicia stuff of the episode was pretty cool. I mean, I did like the individual scenes, the animation, the way the CGI was, the smoke and all that. It looked really good, so, I mean, I had no problems with that. I just felt like some of the plot points could have been handled a little bit better. Now, the second half of the episode, the purification of the dragon. So, besides what I already stated about how I felt about it, the purification scene was pretty cool in the way the OST was used, to the way the actual scene was used with the characters, the way they were trying to fight against this evil and all that, and I just love seeing Saray standing up front. You see Alicia and Rose behind him and all that, and, you know, they're all taking in the malevolence together before they can purify this dragon, and when you just see that scene of when they're purifying them, I'm like, holy crap, like, that looks really cool when you just see it pouring into them, and you have everybody behind them like they're getting worried, like, you know, if something goes wrong, they're all just dead, because if Saray dies, they both die. Alicia and Rose die, so there's only so much they can take, and I was like, damn, that's pretty crazy, just seeing, you know, Saray going up against that, you know, fighting against this dragon and all that, the malevolence, and then you just see how, you know, they're struggling to behind, and they pass out once it's all purified. So, I mean, I love that scene. It was a really good scene, probably the best animated scene of the episode, but in terms of just progression with the plot, yeah, it's like I already said with this, you know, episode review. So overall, I feel like this episode, it's had its problems, definitely, but it was enjoyable in certain ways, but it wasn't perfect. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.